Okay, so this is the second video on the SOK 100 amp hour battery that I just got. And now it's back in the box because I needed it to be in the box for cold temperature protection in the winter. I have to do a little bit more of the wiring because these are just wires that came with the inverters and such, and I want them to be a little more thicker wires. But after I hooked up the battery, I had trouble connecting it to the BMS. This is the Bluetooth version, and I would suspect a lot of people would have the same kind of problem. So this is the SOK app that you have to download. But when I first tried to connect to the battery, there was no connection. And the reason is they say you have to give the battery a little charge or discharge to get the BMS to wake up. So that's what you have to do when you can download your app and try to use it for the first time. It might not work. And what you actually have to do to make it work every time without charging or discharging it is you have to set it, and you go into basic settings. You enter your password, which they don't give you, 200010. And then you go into sleep time. There's no on or off. You have to set it to a number of minutes. And default is nothing. So you have to set it to 9999, the maximum amount, if you want the BMS to be on all the time. Otherwise, when you try to connect to the BMS, it wouldn't work. They say, oh, you have to charge or discharge the battery. But I just want to read the voltage of the battery, right? Sometimes you don't have it set up yet, and you try to turn on the BMS, it wouldn't even turn on. So I think they are a little overprotective, the BMS, and sometimes the function that you want you cannot use because you can't even connect to the battery. My other battery here also has a Bluetooth connection, but there's a switch here to turn on or off the Bluetooth. So you don't have to do a setting that is on this app here, right? You just press a button and the BMS is the Bluetooth is on or off. With this, you have to set it, and they don't tell you, or they don't remind you you have to do such a setting to keep the BMS Bluetooth communication active. So a lot of times people would buy the battery and they try to set it up and it doesn't work, when in fact you have to go in deep down into the app with a password that they don't give you in order to make it work. So this is, it might be a great battery, but if you can't use it properly, it can be a pain. So that is the first thing that you have to know about this battery. And a lot of times it will go into protection because you over discharge it, or you over current, over voltage, whatever. And that's a good thing. But I think there's a little bit of over protection, and then it makes your system fail, especially if you put it in series or something. I have this in parallel, so sometimes you wouldn't even know if you're not checking the individual battery. That's why I try to have this type of disconnect. You can just isolate each battery if you suspect something is not working right. So as you can see, I have a mishmash of different types of battery, and people would say, why you have all different ones? Well, it's because I didn't start out with $5,000 to have a complete system. I started out with one battery and then add another one and another one, and pretty soon you have a whole bunch of different batteries. I basically buy any batteries that are on sale and of good value. Same thing, people say, why don't you have your solar panels in series? Well, I didn't start out with so many panels. I started out like 15 years ago with that panel at the end as a handmade one. And then now you have a whole bunch of solar panels. And if you put them in series, which is good, you also have to put everything else in series. And then if one unit or one panel or one battery fails, then your whole system goes down. Any shading of anything, your system wouldn't work. So it's true, it's could be much more efficient if you have everything in series. Wiring would be better, like I said, more efficient. But if one unit, if you're chaining it up, well, you can't really chain up all the batteries that are different sizes. But even if you have them all of the same size, of the same age, if one of them fail, you're not going to have your system working until you rewire it. Whereas I can take any of these out and it will still work. It will still be 12 volt, and I don't have to use any kind of boost converter or anything like that to make the system work. And of course you can install DC to AC inverter, and then you have AC, and that will solve all your problem. So yeah, this sounds like I'm griping, but yeah, not every system is for you the way people say they are. If you have a lot of money, of course. If I have $5,000, $10,000 to spare, of course I would get a 48 volt rack system. Yeah, to begin with, I don't have the space. It's kind of difficult. Those batteries are extra heavy to deal with. These are like 25 pounds each. And even this one is 200 amp hour, is only 50 pounds. Those big 48 volts, they're extremely heavy. And I would say, could be, you save on the wires and maybe the connectors and all that, and the fuses. But I think if they go dead, nothing works. So that's my video for today. And for me, cold temperature protection is important. So I have this one here supposed to have, the SOK is supposed to have cold temperature protection, but also have a thermostat here to cut off the charging, and that is done with a relay here. So just to give it an extra bit of protection. All right, that's the video today. I think SOK, the vendor that I bought it from, has lowered the price again. So I don't know, maybe I'll get another one. I really like the SOK battery because they come in a metal case, much better than these that are in a plastic case. All right, thanks for watching.